Hi guys, it's Sammy and Ralph here, back again with another video. And today we would like to share with you 10 tips to help you on your next embarkation day.
Absolutely. Now, we all know how anxious we might feel and excited at the same time, but we have 10 tips that will get you from port side to pool side with a drink in your hand. So let's get started.
First tip we would like to share is to know your port. While you are planning for your cruise, it is imperative that you go ahead and you research the port that you will be sailing out of as well. You want to keep in mind the area that the port is, how long it takes for you to get to the port, and also parking. For those that have to travel via airplane to a port, it is advisable that you do fly in the day before. So that way you do not risk any airline cancellations due to weather or any other technical difficulties, and that you would miss out on your cruise. For those of us that live locally to a port and we need to drive, you're going to want to do your research as far as driving time and also giving yourself, in my opinion, another 45 minutes to an hour leeway, just for unforeseen traffic, accidents, roadblocks. You never know what's going to happen with that, even if you live locally.
Absolutely. Now, for example, our most recent cruise, we actually sailed out of Port Everglades. Now, we did not know that they were under construction, so we were told that we had to report to Terminal 18. And when we got there, there were two cars in line, right? We were the first, and there was another lost person. So even though we eventually did some research to try to find out, well, what exactly happened? Why did they tell us to go to Terminal 18 when it was some other terminal on the other side of the port? There was nothing there. So there are times where you can do the research and still it doesn't necessarily work out. But if you get there early enough, you can figure things out. We absolutely recommend to confirm things as you go through certain checkpoints. You could ask some of the guards there, hey, can you confirm where, such and such a ship is sailing out of, and they'll confirm it for you. So that is a tip that helped us tremendously on our last cruise because we were lost.
Tip number 2 would be to complete your safety video. Now, depending on the cruise line that you're sailing with, they may have the option to complete the safety video through the app. In the case with us, we recently sailed with Royal Caribbean and completed the safety video while driving to the port.
Exactly, and for us to be efficient, there are two options that you really have. You can do it in the terminal while you're waiting to be onboarded, or you can do it on your way to the port. Now, if you are traveling with kids like us, we like to do it in the car because we want our kids to be able to hear exactly what the instructions are. So that's convenient, and we make sure that they pay attention to it. So that's a really nice tip if you have kids. Now, if you don't have the option to use the app, obviously this tip doesn't necessarily help you, but if you do, find out and get it done beforehand.
Tip number 3 would be to remember to have your proper documentations on you. Day of the cruise, it gets a little crazy and hectic. You get to the port and you're dropping off your bags to the porters, and oops, you forget and you left your cruise documentation in your checked luggage. That's a problem because they will not let you on board the ship. So make sure to have all your proper documentations as well as medications as well, on a side note, with you in your carry-on bag. We travel as a family. We use our passports because we find that with the passports, the check-in process is seamless.
Right, it's much smoother. And also, we have to keep in mind that we have kids with us, right? And if something were to happen in another country, we have to be able to hop on the plane and get back home quickly. Now, does that happen often? No, it's rare. But just to be on the cautious side, we make sure that we travel with passports. It's not necessary, but it is recommended, even by the cruise lines as well. That's
another part of your cruise planning. Just gonna throw a little tidbit in there too. please read the fine print, or if you're booking with the agent, please make sure that you ask about documentation, because depending on what port you're leaving out of, whether it's a foreign port or a US port, the documentation to leave will be different. Whether it's, just a simple driver's license to where, no, you actually need a passport to be able to sail on this itinerary. For younger children, there is the option of the birth certificates, but as my husband said, if there's an emergency and you have to leave that country or wherever it is and get back home to the US, you will run into some issues.
Right. So now with tip number 4, have lunch as soon as you get on board. The fact is that most people are too nervous when they're trying to get on the ship. So no one's thinking about breakfast or snacks or anything like that. But as soon as you get on the ship, then you realize, well, now what? Because you can't go to your room. Most of the venues are not necessarily open.
Please keep in mind though that depending on the ship that you're on, for us, we sailed Royal Caribbean and we were on Liberty of the Seas, and the dining option that we had available for lunch was the Windjammer. Now, depending on the ships that you're on, you may have multiple different lunch venues to go to. But all the hard work and all the nervousness for the first few hours of the day, now you can relax and have something in your belly, so that way you can get started on your tour of the ship.
Correct.
Tip number 5 will be to complete the Munster drill. Now, the Munster drill is basically the cruise line or the crew members verifying that you have completed the safety video. Now, as we mentioned before, in the case with Royal Caribbean, you have to watch the safety video online, and then it lets you know where your muster station is. And for those of you who do not know what a muster station is basically where on the ship, in the event there is emergency, where you would meet up to get your life jackets and get on the lifeboats if you had to evacuate. So the Munster drill starts, they start the check-in process at 12 on our particular sailing, and it ends right before the ship has to sail, which is around 4 on the sailing that we were on. It is very important that everyone gets checked in, because we have even heard them make announcements on the overhead system of people that did not complete their Munster drill check-in. Right. And there are also instances where people have been told to leave the ship because it is a sea travel requirement to complete that.
Absolutely.
So tip number 6 would be to make sure that you sign your kids up for the kids club if you have little ones. We have used the kids club before and over the years with traveling with our little boys, and it came in very handy, especially when husband and I tried to do date night, at least an hour or two, to roam the ship or to hang out at the pool. The kids club did come in into good play in those instances. So it's there. They're all certified, to deal with the children, because otherwise they would not be working there. But it is, a good feature to have, because not all cruise lines have that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of you may be thinking, those with kids may be thinking, I'm on a cruise, I'm with my kid, and I want to keep them with me. It's just really nice to have that option. So even if you don't plan to drop them off, I say get it done anyway, just to make sure that you're on the list and you have that option.
Yes, because a lot of the cruise lines, space is limited. So that is why it is pertinent that you sign up on the day of boarding day, so that way you can lock in a space. Another thing with the kids club that I remember they did for us is we had like cell phones. Like they had cell phones it's not like a real cell phone, but it's a cell phone.
Like a walkie-talkie, pager type of thing.
Right.
I'm not even sure if that's the case right now, because now they have the app.
They have,
maybe
right.
Communicate through the app.
Yeah, but they can communicate with you for whatever issues or anything like that. So you can be in touch whether you're not so close on the ship with the child or anything like that. So.
Right. Right. So all in all, it's a very safe option, and we've gotten a lot of value from it.
Tip number 7 would be to confirm your dining reservations. On boarding day, some people may not know, but you can go down to the main dining room area and you can speak with the maitre d' or, one of the dining room attendants, and you can let them know, whether or not you want to sit at a particular table. Like if it's just me and my husband traveling and we don't want to sit at a table with 6 other strangers, we can make a request and say, can we just have a small table for 2? And they'll try to accommodate. Also, if we are traveling with a large family and we want to get everyone to sit at the same table together, this is the time where you would speak with the maitre d' as well and say, we're selling with these different people in different cabins, and they'll try to see if they can make one big table to accommodate everyone. Another thing to keep in mind too is that you can let them know any celebrations that you're probably doing on the trip as well, and also any dietary restrictions that anyone in your party may have.
Right, absolutely. Well, how does it work when it comes to the specialty restaurants? Would you recommend
specialty restaurants as well? On boarding day, if you do purchase a dining package or so to a specialty restaurant, you can go to one of the specialty restaurants and then they'll make your reservations for any of the other restaurants that you probably reserved. So you don't have to hop to each specialty restaurant to make the reservation. They can make it for you though, that one stop.
Absolutely.
Very good. Tip number 8 would be to take any motion sickness medication that you may need. So whether it be your Bonine, your Dramamine, your ginger tablets, the wristbands with the pressure points, or your patches to go behind your ear, please make sure you take that and do not wait till the ship starts to sail away and you start to feel the movement. For our family, I give everybody a dose of their medication right when we're leaving the house and we're driving to the port. So please, some people do forget that. And you also want to make sure that you're taking it, like say first thing in the morning as well, throughout your cruise to prevent it and not wait till the nausea and the dizziness hits you during the trip, because now you're playing catch up. The medication has to play catch up with trying to ease you and you're already not feeling all that great.
Absolutely, and I can really back that up. There's been trips where I've taken it too late, and to be honest with you, you never fully shake it off. So take it early, prevent it. You'll be better off and more thankful, trust me. And also, if you think that you're a person that does not get nauseous easily, motion sickness does not bother you, I say take it anyway, because she's that person.
Yeah.
Right? But she still takes it. So why even go through that if you don't have to? So if you have the medications or the patches or the bands with you, just do it. It's better to be safe than sorry, for sure.
Tip number 9 would be to take the time to meet your cabin attendant. Now, whether it's a 3-day weekend, 7-night trip, or a world cruise, it's nice to get to know the person that's going to be, coming in your room to freshen it up. And not to mention, this is your opportunity to let them know what you like and dislike, in regards to towels and your bedding, what pillows you want, or, if anything needs to be cleaned that you noticed upon entering the room that was not up to your standards. This would be a good time to speak with them, get to know them, and tell them what your needs are. For us, maybe not so much my husband, but I like to meet the cabin attendant and I let him know, please, send me my robes, because we do get robes on our cruise now, and also to please let us have some wine glasses, because we do bring bottles of wine on our cruise. So I like to already have that in the room, tissue, paper, any little type of things like that. So it's good to know them.
Absolutely.
Tip number 10 would be to make sure that you put your cell phones on airplane mode. Please, we are going to enter international waters. there will be data roaming charges. Okay, so there are so many stories of people forgetting to put their cell phones on airplane mode and they come back home, in a couple of weeks with a nice bill. So what I started doing is putting an alarm on my phone and right before sail away, and that was a reminder for me to let my husband know, our boys know who have cell phones as well, because you have to keep in mind you're traveling with teens and or preteens, and everyone has their cell phone, and you will be getting pushback why I need to be on airplane mode. Well, so I put on that. So. Exactly. So I go ahead, set a reminder, and I go around to everyone and make sure that we're all on airplane mode. Another thing to also keep in mind, certain smartwatches that have their own telephone line, if you're able to make phone calls on them as well, you're going to want to put that on airplane mode too. And I think that's one thing that I forgot, and Ralph had to remind me on that one as well.
Right. So there you go. 10 tips that we believe will help your first day, your boarding day, go much smoother. And hopefully you'll be like us within minutes of completing that list. You'll be poolside with a drink in your hand. So enjoy yourself, have fun, and that's it.
Until next time, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
What is it? What are you gonna say it is? You don't even know what it is.
It's the safety. They have to verify that you completed the safety video.
Oh, okay.
And they keep track. And if you don't complete it, the ship can't sail, and you will get kicked off if you don't complete the muster drill.
Well, you didn't say any of that. You just said complete the muster drill. All right, so let's go.